Hey, what's up everybody? So this is something a little different than I normally do. Most of the time I vlog and play games, more so Pokemon Go, but I wanted to do a little DIY with you guys real quick here. So I had, let me get this real quick. I had a surface igniter switch go out in my furnace. So it's been really cold last couple of days. I had one on order, but that ain't cutting it. Its temperature keeps dropping down below, in the low 30s. So the house is really cold. So as you can see here, there we go. So as you can see here, sorry, the camera's gonna be in and out of focus on it. But there's two sides to it. It comes straight up and then over and like connects with each other. I got the new one, I can show you the new one, but this little guy here, if your furnace is running, which mine was, then this thing isn't glowing, because usually it's a flat surface igniter because it heats up to a point where it can spark the gas when the gas line goes through the furnace and sprays a little mist. It catches that on fire, and that's what lights up your burners. And then you got another sensor that is called a flame detector. So that's how it helps regulate it. If there's no flame there, it's going to shut off your gas line or the gas source. I don't know the technical term of it because I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be, but these are just little things that you can kind of fix on your own without spending thousands of dollars in doing it. Even just doing this one little switch can run you about $85 to $150 depending on your setup of your furnace and the professional that's actually doing it for you. So obviously this is going to be at your own risk. I'm not making you do this, I'm just trying to help you out and save you a little bit of money. But it's simple. It's a simple task. It's one hole right here on the bracket. It takes one bolt. You just mount it to the panel, which I'll show you guys inside the furnace here in a second, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. And the new one comes with a little kit. It comes with an extra harness. So I'd imagine this is a harness that will connect to the flat surface igniter and maybe connect to another model of furnace, whether it be Goodman or Rheem or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't know very much about HVAC at all. But if I can save myself some money, I'm gonna try it myself and figure out the problem. If it expands beyond that, then I'll leave it to the professionals. So especially anything with gas line related, stuff like that. You don't want to cause a fire, and you don't want to have gas build up in your home. It creates an unsafe environment. So I wouldn't recommend doing it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. But with these, like I said, it's as simple as disconnecting it from its harness and bolting it in. Just one bolt. That's all it is. Okay, here's some wire fasteners in case you have to split your wires and connect them. I'm not going to be doing that because it comes with a harness, so it's just a plug and play. Like I said, it takes no time at all. Okay. All right, so here is the new one. As you can see, it's connected. It comes straight up and straight down. Okay, there's the bracket. It's made by Course Tech, and then here's your harness bunge or plug, whatever you guys want to call it, technical term, I don't know. So basically, what I'm going to do . So as you can see, there's the plug to the plug, and it mounts back there in this little hole, as you can see. You can barely see it, it's blurring out a little bit, but that's the bolt hole on the left, and it seats right down there. See if I can get a better picture real quick. Sorry. Right there in front of this first gas line, right back in there. If you pan over to the right, can't really see it, but up here, that is your flame sensor. It's just a little rod that sticks down in there. You can see it back in there. See the white tip back in there, but it sticks down and it detects your flame. So if one or more are not working, the furnace will not run, which is good because it's a fail-safe, because we don't want gas building up inside of the furnace. And this is a Goodman furnace, so if you guys have a Goodman furnace, here you go. Alright, so what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and seat this down in that hole. Alright, make sure my bolt hole is lined up over on the other side. You guys need to be very careful with these because these little tips are very fragile. They will break. This furnace is fairly new. Had it for a couple years, and these don't last very long because they take so much heat that the heat ends up cracking them, and that's what happened with mine. It broke, so it wasn't lighting up. So here we go. So I'm gonna be very careful, and I'm gonna set this down inside this pocket, just like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab my bolt, which should be, I know it's not very lit in here. I'm taking up all the light. I would put a light in here, but I don't have any lights that I can actually mount. But basically I'm just going to screw this down into its base. One thing I forgot to mention, make sure you guys are cutting off your gas supply and as well as disconnecting your electric from your panel. Safety first and last at all times. So that way you don't take a risk on grounding anything out or electrocuting yourself or whatever case may be. It would just be all bad. So I'll be back. Stand by for a minute while I tighten up this bolt. Okay, so here's a little bit of light. As you guys can see, I've got it mounted back in there. There's the bolt and the bunge sticking out. We come down here and you can see it sticking out back there. And it sits just right in front of that burner. Gas is going to come out of here, and this part here, it's going to spray through the tube, and it's going to go down there and hit that surface igniter switch. Well, it's not even a switch, it's just a surface igniter. I know I keep saying switch. But hopefully you can see, get a little bit better picture of the rod sticking out down there for the flame detector. So now, just plugging this piece down here into that. Okay, so there you got it. It's connected. So if it's not going in for you and it's not connecting right, don't force it. It goes in one way because there's grooves. So just make sure you pay attention to that so you don't mess up your prongs inside that boot, and the plastic boot there, and the white one. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start hooking everything back up, turn on my power and the gas, which is going to be over here. So I'm going to flip my switch into the on position, which is here. So now that's on. I'm going to go over to my electric panel and flip the switch for my furnace. So now what I'm going to do, because the cover is off, there's a safety relay switch on this furnace, but just so I can see that everything's working, I'm going to hold it in. That should turn it on, and you'll see that this red light on the control panel, or this power supply board, I'm guessing that's what the name is. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so I don't know the technical terms for these, but this light should come on and we should have power. If nothing comes on after you turn everything on, a lot of times these boards go bad, and that's usually, from what I've heard, is one of the common problems with these new furnaces. Luckily that's not the case for me, I hope. So after I get done with this, we'll see what happens. So right here is the switch for when I put the panels on. Excuse me. Basically what happens is once you push this in, it'll kick power to supply board as well as for your gas supply. So if you ever hit this switch and nothing comes on, always make sure you go to where your thermostat is and make sure you actually have it turned on as well. So here we go. So you can see the red light come on onto the motherboard. Here are a couple of them relay switches ticking. And if it doesn't kick on, like I said, always go upstairs and triple check your thermostat. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up there and make sure it's set to heat, and it is on, which I know it's not on because I turned everything off. But just one of them little common practices that you guys should pay attention to when you're doing this stuff, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So another thing to keep in mind, y'all, is when you're working on this stuff, make sure you're using the right tools for the job, especially with electrical. Got tools that have protective coverings on them, so you get metal to metal contact. The tool is protected, you're protected. Wear rubber gloves. Should be able to get any of that personal protective equipment from a lot of your home goods stores, Lowe's, places like that. Like I said, if it's something you don't think you can handle or manage, make sure you get with a professional and allow them the opportunity of getting it done and fixed for you the right way. I turned on the power upstairs. I set it to heat and auto fan. I don't want to just run it on fan, because then the fan or the blower down here will continuously run, which is this big boy here. We want to set it to auto so the fan will kick off when the furnace kicks off. Save power, right? Saving money. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this button down. You see the power board's working. And this is your exhaust fan. That's what you're hearing right here. Gets all the bad stuff out the air. And basically we're going to sit here and wait and see what happens. So as you can see, it's glowing red. Now any other time with my issue, before it was doing all this and running, and that flat surface igniter was not working. So you can see it now. It's got the flames going. All four of them are nice and blue. That's how you change out a faulty flat surface igniter switch. But there's your flame detector sensor. So it's going to stay running as long as there's flames there. If there's not flames there, like I said, it's going to kick this furnace off. It's going to shut off the gas line here, and that way your house doesn't build up with gas and potentially create a very unsafe hazard for your house. But there you go. You know, it only takes a few minutes. It's one bolt, one switch. Like I said, be careful with that tip, because those are sensitive, man. They will break. Okay. Like I said, you do this at your own risk, but this is a do-it-yourself, and I hope I can help in some sort of way and saving money and time and keeping your family warm. So, there you have it. It's not my normal thing, but I normally do vlogging on gameplays like Pokemon Go. That's like my thing. But if you like what I did here today, and if you want to see some more things about it, some more little do-it-yourselfers, let me know in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up on this video. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and smash that bell if you want to follow me and receive notification on future uploads. And there you have it. This is a Goodman furnace, and it's a DIY. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Scapattack out. Peace.